Okay. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's get start. Hi everyone. I'm Weiwei from VMware. I'm host of this meeting. This is today's agenda. First, I will introduce the progress of Harbor in version 1.9. The second, Henry will share the events of KubeCon in Shanghai, held it 2 weeks ago. The next is feature demo time from Daniel Qian and Minmin. After that is the user case sharing from Qihoo by Frank in Chinese. And the last is free talk. Okay, first let me introduce the progress of Harbor version 1.9. Here are main features and stories in version 1.9. Quota per project, tag retention, replication in program story, webhook support, whitelist in CVE, syslog endpoint for login shape, performance improvement. And we are studying coding this week for quota per project. And the tag retention is proposal ready and begin to code. ECR, GCR, ACR adapter support are done in replication. Replication by labels added backlog. Minmin will share the webhook support progress later. System CVE whitelist is ready and will be demoed by Daniel later. Syslog endpoint for log shaping will be done in next sprint and will be demo by Char later. And the performance test stage 1 is done. Okay, next let's welcome Henry. Share the KubeCon in Shanghai. Welcome, Henry.
Hi, yeah, thanks Weiwei for the introduction. So hi everyone, I'm Henry Zhang. I'm one of the maintainers of Project Harbor. Could you go back a little bit? Go back one page. Weiwei. Yeah, so we had a very wonderful event of KubeCon Shanghai last week in China, and it's during the June 24 and to 26. So during this event, we have a few activities for Harbor projects. So the Harbor maintainers, most of them are in China, and all the Chinese maintainers are gathering in Shanghai City and discuss the roadmap and all the project-related issues. And we have a wonderful Harbor community event with other CNCF projects, Dragonfly and TiKV. And also in this KubeCon, we have a Harbor session to introduce Harbor project and its roadmap. It was delivered by Stephen Zhou and Wen-Kai Yin. And the Harbor maintainers also met a lot of users in the exhibition booth. So I'll go over some of the details for the next few slides. So for the Harbor community event, we have an event called Chinese originated CNCF project community reception. So basically, we are doing this meetup type of community event with the other two Chinese originated CNCF project, Dragonfly and TaiKV. And so we gave the maintainers gave the project update, and also we share some users were sharing the Harbor experience. So from the picture, you can see Dan Kahn, the CNCF Executive Director, and also Alan Ren, the General Manager of VMware R&D China, and Xiang Li, the CNCF TOC member. They were all there for this event's kickoff. Next. And so here's more pictures for the event. You can see there are about 100 people showing up in this event, and the maintainer like Steven Zhao, Chen De, Mingming Pei, and also Frank Hong, sharing the Harbor roadmap as well as their use cases in their company. Yeah, next. So you can see here that we have a lot of people attending this event. Next. And in the Harbor session that coming on the first day of KubeCon, we have maintainer Steven Zhou and Wen Kai-yin delivering the session. There will be they introduce the overall architecture of Harbor and what's new in what will be done in 1.9. That's the team is currently working on. There were about 40 people in the room, and because the room was relatively small, so we didn't have more people to come, but actually many people were blocked by the door outside of this room. Okay, next. And here you can see the picture of a VMware booth. We have set up some flyers or some souvenirs for the Harbor users. Many users came to our booth and talked to us about the Project Harbor and discussed a lot of feedback and issues or suggestions to the projects. So according to our estimation, that there were more than 100 users at the booth that they were coming to us and talk to us for the project. So thank you very much, Otto, for those people, for those users that came to our booth for the feedback. And we did have some great discussions with the community member, a few companies that they're showing great interest in our projects and expressed their intention to collaborate with us in future effort. Next. So, besides the KubeCon Shanghai just finished, we would like to call for some participation in the KubeCon San Diego for the CFP, which will be ended by July 12th. So we welcome any Harbor users to share their use cases in the KubeCon. So if you want to submit a CFP or if you have any topic ideas, please feel free to talk to us. Maybe we can help you to summarize and we can help you to present or co-present some of the topics in KubeCon San Diego. Based on some of the feedback from the community users, so we are kind of thinking, planning some of the offline meetups in a few cities in China. The peer-to-peer users of Harbor actually offer the venues in different cities. So we have the sponsored venues, and potentially we can have speakers or users in different cities that we can host some offline meetup. So if you know that, please let us know your cities that you are in. Then you want us to have some offline events. Then we'll see whether we can organize some events in your local cities, and we are planning for it. So please do let us know what you are thinking, and possibly then we hope we can have some meetup or some offline event in your city if we see the strong demand. So that's all for this event update. Wei Wei, back to you.
Hey, Henry, one question. This is one thing. This is Michael. So on the first part around KubeCon San Diego, I know that some of you guys may or may not be able to travel to the United States, but if you have any ideas for good discussions that our Harbor end users will love, please share them. We can have a discussion. We can figure out who can present. But the main thing is, let's get the ideas flowing. Let's figure out good topics and good use cases of Harbor. And I'm sure others are interested about them. And we can figure out the logistics about United States presentations later on. Thank you, Henry, as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So sorry. Let me, because there are some Chinese user in this talk. So let me excuse my few minutes. I just to explain this in Chinese.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So let me explain in Chinese. Sorry for one minute only. So 各位中国的用户，如果你们想在这个 KubeCon 这个大会上分享这个 Harbor 的用例或者使用的经验可以给我们提供一些你的素材，或者你可以提交这个 CFP 给这个 KubeCon San Diego。那么我们可以收集你的素材，然后或者我们可以安排一些去分享的一些可能。所以如果你有这样的想法的话，可以欢迎跟我们联系，然后我们看看可不可以把你的那个分享的经验加到我们的这个 talk 里边去。好，非常感谢。Okay, thank you. Back to you, Wei Wei.
我稍微插一句，我想 Michael 还要强调的一点就是，如果您 submit 了这个 CFP， 然后比较有价值的话，这个费用应该是我们 cover 的。他说
这个可能到时候看一下，这个商量一下。
反正 Michael 好像是这个意思。
OK， 这个费用我们可以把我们以后再看了，但是我们先把题目先收上来。
好，
谢谢 ，Thanks。微微。
微微 you muted?
Cannot hear you, Wei Wei.
Oh, sorry. Next time is feature demo time. First, let's welcome Daniel. Demo the system level CVE whitelist.
Yeah, let me share my screen. You see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the feature I'm demoing is a CVE whitelist, and currently this is a working in progress. And we have the basic workflow and the system level CVE done. So I'll demo this part. First, let's look at this my environment. For this project library, if I go to the configuration tab, we can set the deployment security options. Here I can prevent images with vulnerability severity of high and above from being deployed. So if I do the Docker pull, I cannot pull it because the severity of this Redis image is above high. Let's go back to Harbor. As you can see, there are a few high severity vulnerabilities of this Docker image I tried to pull. Because of the setting in the project, I cannot pull it. But now we have introduced the whitelist so that system admin, after reviewing this vulnerabilities, he can add these into the whitelist so that the vulnerability can be ignored during Docker pull. Let's see what I can do. If I go to the system settings, the UI components are under development, so it's not. We're gonna refine it later. I can add a few vulnerabilities. There are 7 of them, so let me add them one by one.
And while you're doing that, Daniel, let me add a little bit more color. So like Daniel said, we're finalizing the user interface here to make it a little bit more usable. And the biggest reason why we're allowing the CVE whitelist is so that imagine you have an application and a new 0-day CVE comes out. but you're dependent on a component or a library that it doesn't have an update for that CVE. So what do? If you want to protect yourself, like Daniel enabled in his project, you're preventing the pull of that image based on that CVE. But that means that nobody can deploy your image in production. So you have a Kubernetes cluster and you're using that image, you can't scale your application. So that's also bad. So not only do you have a CVE, but also now you can't pull your image. If we allow you to create a white list of images, essentially we're allowing you to say, yes, I'm aware to this CVE, but there's no resolution today. So I'm going to add it to a whitelist for a small period of time until the library is patched, so I can actually import it into my container image, and then I no longer have this active high severity thing. So the whitelist allows you to add an exception to the policy around CVEs on your images for a short period of time until libraries or dependent packages are remediated. Thank you, Daniel. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Michael, for the explanation. Yeah, that's the most valuable use case for this whitelist. And now that I've add all the high severity vulnerability to the whitelist and saved it, if I pull again, it should. Yeah, I can do it because all the high severity vulnerabilities are ignored while I'm pulling this image. I mean, the vulnerabilities are ignored by the interceptor of Harbor because of the existence of the whitelist. And for example, if I remove one of the vulnerability and save again, yeah, because now it only filters these 6 vulnerability, but there are still 1 vulnerability that will take into account that is high severity. So if I pull again, it will fail because the overall vulnerable level is considered high. Yeah, that's the basic workflow of the CVE whitelist. Next, we're gonna refine the UI components and add the project level whitelist. Yeah, we're gonna allow the project admin to overwrite the system whitelist or reuse the system whitelist. So each project can have different CVE whitelist. Yeah, that's all I want to demo today. Any question or comments?
No, great job, Daniel. This looks awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's my part.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Next is the external syslog driver from Chair.
Okay, let's share my screen. Oh, okay. In the previous version of Harbor, we only can storage the logs on our local machine. And currently we support to export our logs to external syslog endpoint. And you just let's check the let me show you how to enable the external syslog endpoint. First, you need to edit the config file of Harbor and find the log section and enable the external endpoint and put your protocol here and the host and your port. And now, if you enable the external endpoint, now the logs will export to the endpoint you configured here, and the log no longer stored on your local machine. Let me check the result. And let's up the Docker. Okay, let's start the Docker for Harbor. Let's start the Harbor. Okay, let's see. This is logo inside is a VMware's product, which is a log storage and analysis system, and is also syslog compatible. Let's say because you can say the JS is the JS I configure in our configure file. So the logo is exported to this endpoint. Okay, you can say the log inside is receiving the logs from the Harbor, and all the logs you can find here, and you can use in this log inside to configure the component. For example, if you wanna check the course log, you can just add this app name contains core. This is all the logs of the Harbor core. Okay, I think my demo is done. Any question about this?
Thank you so much. I guess the biggest thing that I want to mention here is that, you know, Log Insight is just one product that we could use for integration with Harbor. Essentially, any log analytics and log consumption product that supports syslog like Elk, Splunk, any of the Google or Azure AWS, it will support all of them. So any will be able to push their logs.
Yes, I also tested it on FriendBit, and using Elasticsearch as backend, it also works. I think every syslog compatible logs can support.
Excellent. This is great. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Next is the webhook support progress from Mimin. Mimin, do you need to share the screen?
裴明明在吗？直接问一下他。
Hi, Mimin. I see him.
Okay, I think you move on to next part, right? Maybe when he back.
Oh, okay. Hey, let me open the proposal. Wait a minute. Okay. Let me share.
Ming Ming, are you muted?
It's very possible. He probably doesn't know we can't hear him since he's probably talking and highlighting too.
Seems he's talking, but
Yeah.
no words. Maybe we can move to next part.
Well, he's gonna show a demo now.
I don't think he will show demo. He just to update. He just want to update some progress of the web.
Oh, okay. Let's let's do the user case sharing from Qihoo in Chinese by Frank. Hello, Frank.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Hi everybody, I am Frank Kong Fan Jian. I will talk our case in Chinese. 大家好，我是孔凡健。我下面会就用中文来给大家分享一下我们公司容器镜像分发的一些实践的，大概有3个方面吧。一个就是那个我们 Harbor 的异地多活和高可用的架构。然后第2个的话是我们基于 Vim 和 Keybase 平台部署怎么部署的 Harbor。第3个的话是我们 Harbor 是怎么做的镜像的多机房同步。Any question？ 先说说高可用架构吧。我们是这样子的。Harbor 的话嘛，我们是有2种实例，一种的话嘛是读写的实例，这种实例的话嘛是提供给 RD 同学的话嘛向上推镜像，然后的话嘛作为主实例向各个机房的只读副本做同步用的圆的。
哎，你能全屏吗？这个图好小，看不清楚。
我看一下啊，稍等。可以看见吗？现在？
哎，现在好多了。
好嘞，谢谢。
Hey, Henry or Stephen Rand, maybe after we're done, could you maybe translate a little bit for everybody else as well? Just the high level stuff. At the end, not after we're done with the presentation.
Sure.
我们的 registry 的话呢是有 Harbor 背后的有一个 Docker registry， 我们是 registry 是有多副本的，然后多个副本之间的话嘛是共享的一个 S3 存储。registry 的话嘛是用的独立的域名，我们的 Keybase 集群的话嘛是通过 registry 的独立域名来拉取镜像的，并没有使用 Harbor 的代理。然后的话 ，Harbor。
Frank, hold on. Do we have anyone can help to translate?
Yeah, I think Henry can help translate afterwards. Currently, Frank is introducing his solution to set up a Harbor HA in his company.
Let me confirm. Hurry, could you please help to translate some high level?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I will try up to this one.
So, Frank, you can, complete one statement. Hold on, pause a minute. Let Henry to translate the meaning.
我觉得他说的意思是，等他说完了，简单的翻译一下就可以，不用每页都翻。
我自己简单翻译。
Maybe 因为要对着头嘛。
讲完1页，我来翻译，简单翻译一下就好。
OK.
Thank you.
Thanks.
这页，然后继续就是我们的 Harbor 的实例用了 MyCircle 的，然后的话嘛，这个 MyCircle 的话嘛，使用的是主从集群。Harbor 的主实例是用的 MyCircle 的读写的那个实例，然后各个机房的 Harbor 的话嘛，从 MyCircle 集群的读副本来只读实例来 读取信息。然后各个机房的 Harbor 只读实例的话是Token Service 那块在使用 MyCircle， 大概就是这样子的。
就是说其他几个实例是不可以写的是吗？
对，其他各个机房的实例是不可写的。
Okay, so here are some of the quick translation for this setup. Basically, this is architecture done by the Qihoo 360, an internet company in China. They're doing Harbor for the multi data center and high availability architecture. So basically, they have multiple Harbor instances and having the S3 as the backend storage for sharing the data. And each registry will have a standalone domain name, and also they can use the intelligent resolution name service to automatically resolve to the right places, right data center for the user. And Harbor has the master slave mode. So the data center, the master instance of Harbor has the read-write access, while the slave instances of Harbor can only be read and be readable, but not able to be written. So the Harbors, they have a Harbor database setup of the MySQL. Also, it's a master slave, and the MySQL will replicate data to the slave's instances, so that Harbor can be used in different data centers. Okay.
Okay, thank you. 然后的话嘛，我们的 Harbor 的话嘛是使用 Kbase 部署的，然后部署工具用的是我们公司开源出来的 Win 这个私有容器云平台来进行部署的。Harbor 的基础服务的话 ，S3 Redis MyCircle 的话嘛是用的公司内部的公共服务，然后的话部署在Kbase 上的 Harbor 的话嘛是使用了 Node-Port Service， 然后加边缘节点，最外层是挂了一个负载均衡这样的方式来对应该说是对其他物理机或者说开发环境、办公网络这些提供服务的。然后的话嘛，主实例的话是 Harbor UI、Admin Server、Job Service 和 Registry 这些组件的话嘛，在单机房部署了多个副本。然后 Clear 的话嘛，是我们并没有做高可用的，是基于 Kbase 的话嘛，部署了一个单独的实例。然后各个机房的 Harbor 从实例的话嘛，里面的 Harbor UI、Admin Server、Job Service、Registry 这些组件的话嘛，是每个机房都有多个部署副本的，做到高可用。嘿，何人
OK， 这个是 Kubernetes 对吧？
对。
So in the deployment of the Qihoo 360, they use their own open source project Wayne for and Kubernetes for deployment of Harbor. So they have internal S3 Redis and MySQL service, and they use the Node-Port and Edge Node and Load Balancer for Harbor instances. And for their master instances of Harbor, they have the components of Harbor UI, admin server, job service, and other registry components in the master data center. And for the Claire, they didn't have multiple instances, so they only have one instance of Claire for the image scanning. So when this master node is set up, they have replicated to other slave instances. So in the slave instances, they have Harbor UI, admin server, job service, and registry components for the multi-data center copy of the instances. 这个是 1.5 的版本是吗？
对。
Yeah, it is because they're using 1.5, so that's why they have MySQL here. 下一个。
OK, next page. 最后又说一下我们 Harbor 多机房同步这一块吧。在 Harbor image 的层面的话呢，就是说，待会儿镜像这一块的话呢，用了 Harbor replication 同步和备份，用来还有就是做镜像的备份这一块。在存储上的话呢，我们除了用 Harbor replication 对镜像进行同步以外，为了加速整个同步的过程，使用了 S3 镜像工具，从主集群 Harbor 主实例向各个机房的实例进行同步。同步的那块的话，并不是说对整个镜像做的同步，是对镜像里面的 blob 进行了同步。然后最后的话 ，Harbor 从实例指读问题，我想这个。因为 Harbor 的各从机房的话嘛，是数据库是只读的，并没有办法写。我们的话嘛是，让主机房的 Harbor replication 的话嘛，并不会说直接向从机房的 Harbor 实例做同步，而是说直接同步到各机房的 Docker Registry 里面。这是同步方面的。嗨，亨瑞。
同步到 registry 是指同步那个 blob 还是 images？
Harbor 的话嘛是同步所有信息，它 blob 已经同步了以后的话嘛 ，Harbor 会跳过这一层嘛？
对。
然后的话呢，我想想，对，就这样子。
OK， 带回去。Okay, so this is the explanation of the Harbor multi-data center replication. So this replication is happening in a few layers. So the first layer is the image layer. At the image layer, they use Harbor replication for the synchronization between different instances, and also for the image backup. And they also have the storage level backup. So basically, they use S3 mirror tools to replicate the blobs data across. So normally inside an image, we usually have blob data and also a few metadata. So they use S3 mirror, at the storage layer to speed up the replication process. And they have managed to replicate this with the image layer replication from Harbor. And also they have the Harbor slave instance for the read-only issues. So they only push the images to the Docker registry in the slave data center for the synchronization. 谢谢。
谢谢，谢谢亨瑞。
还有吗？
没有了。
那个能问一两个问题吗？就有点好奇，比如说那个从实例，您直接从那个registry 同步过来的话，那个 Harbor 那边的 project 什么的都不会被建，对吧？
对，不会被建，因为咱们那个在从机房的话嘛，MyCircle 是只读的，然后的话嘛是主从集群自动同步，在 MyCircle 层面有一个同步的是。
MyCircle 同步这个 project 的 data 对吧？
对 ，Harbor 的一些数据。
OK， 好。
Yeah, thanks Frank Kong for the sharing.
Okay, thank you, Henry.
Thanks, Henry. Next is free talk.
So anyone, if you have any topics, any questions, feel free to ask. If you feel free to speak in Chinese, feel free to do so. 大家也可以用英文或中文提问或者讨论。
Frank， 我有一个问题，就比如说你们这个主冲集群大概的使用量是多大？可以方便说一下吗？
使用量是说哪方面？是说我们节点数量，还是说？
比如说有多少个 image 啊？比如说同时，我比较关心说同时有多少个用户可能去 push 这些。
我想想啊，用户的话嘛这块没关注。我们的话嘛拉镜像的时候，带宽能达到100兆， 这些块儿，然后的话嘛，节点的话嘛是1000多节点。
和1000个节点是 Kubernetes Worker Node 的1000个节点吗？
对 ，KBH 的节点。
So the question was what's the scale of this setup in Qihoo 360? So the answer was there are about 1,000 nodes, Kubernetes worker nodes in the cluster, and the maximum bandwidth is about 100 megabytes per second, right? If I was correct, for the download of the image. The concurrent user is 并发用户是不太清楚是吧？
对，并发用户这块没有关注那个指标。
Yeah, concurrent users is not sure, but just sharing the maximum bandwidth is about 100 megabyte per second. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, can we make sure that the slides get uploaded to the community site of Harbor today as well, please? So we can use them later on in the US invitation.
Yes. I will push it to the GitHub.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Any other questions?
By the way, I wanted to mention one thing. So all the recordings from our Harbor community meetings, instead of going to the meeting schedule, we created a channel on YouTube. So there is a link from the same page. So there's a YouTube channel that has both Harbor related presentations. It has community meetings. It has basically a lot of the videos around Harbor are all in the same single YouTube account with multiple playlists.
Any more questions? 大家还有没有其他问题？
Excuse me. This is Austin, and I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So actually, I proposed a question in the Slack channel, and it's not about the version 1.9 because with like a 1.8 release, so it's already support. It can support like OpenID Connect authentications. But I would like to know, do you have any plan to enhance the group? I mean, because currently it's only based on LDAP authentication. So I would like to know, I mean, in the future, will we support like it can like support the OpenID Connect with group access control?
I have you opened an issue on GitHub? You work for Samsung?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Nice to meet you. I think we are doing some refactoring in that part, but for group support, we probably don't have bandwidth for that in 1.9. We'll see 1.10 probably.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Because I'm new to this like a community, so I haven't like check it like in detail. So I just
I know a guy opened an issue on GitHub. Is that you? Did you open that to ask for group support?
Okay. All right.
Oh, all right. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think overall the 1.9 payload is what introduced by Vivi. So right now we are occupied by this workload. And if you have more features, you can put in issue in GitHub, and we will review them in next release.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's end over this meeting today. Thanks all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Vivi. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.